And welcome back, everybody. Hope you've had your little lunch. We should have done something. You'd have just seen pictures of everybody's lunches for the fun of it. But hey, listen, it's virtual. Someday we'll all get again together and we can all peer at each other's lunch and see what everybody's happening. Now, we've heard plenty from our younger side of the community, some fantastic stories, what's going on. But I think one of the biggest challenges is that often type 1 diabetes is seen as a young person's condition. The fact of the matter is, due to better diagnosis, better recognition, better care, people live longer and people are diagnosed better. So you've got a significant percent of the population which is actually in the much older group. And I think it's important we recognize we don't just see this young person's disease. And we need to sort of look into what we want to go through. And our next speaker is the lovely Pat. Pat is 67, if I may be right on that one. So I'm going to leave Pat to give her views, but a very important perspective of where we sit, where we are, and also remembering type 1 diabetes is a broad condition affecting all ages. Over to you, Pat.
Hello, I'm Pat, and I'm here to tell you my story as someone who was diagnosed type 1 later in life and the difference a range of diabetes tech has made to me and my life with diabetes. I was leading a busy, active life. I was a counsellor and was out and about in the community and had loads of different meetings. I was suddenly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 67 years age, while I was on holiday in Spain. Well, it was a bombshell and hit me like a sledgehammer. I was very upset about it and felt like it was the end of the world as I knew it. I lost my confidence in who I was. The words on this slide reflect how my head seemed, all over the place. There was so much to deal with, especially as being in Spain in the hospital, where the nurses had very little English and me virtually no Spanish. It was hard being taught how to give myself injections and checking my blood sugar through finger pricks. How could I hope to cope with it all? I came home and was referred to the diabetes clinic in my local hospital in St Helens. I got wonderful support and education from the diabetes team, some of whom are in the photo. They helped and supported me from day one and showed me how to start to carry on with my life. They provided information about diabetes from videos, leaflets, and courses to help me understand more about my diabetes and increase my confidence in how to manage it. Starting with finger pricks and multiple daily injections. Then came the face-to-face education like carb counting, sick days information, and the various courses designed to help me cope with diabetes. It also helped meeting other people in the same situation, and I started to regain my confidence. Then I started to look online and speaking to people to see what else was out there to help me cope with my diabetes. Now, I'm not advertising any particular apps, more like highlighting that there are digital apps that can help make living with diabetes easier and are worth exploring. Ones I personally find useful are Carbs and Cals. This can be downloaded onto your phone, so you don't have to carry a book. It's right there in my pocket, very accessible, especially if I'm out having a meal. It also shows photos of different quantities or sizes of food or meals to enable me to choose and know the amount of insulin to take. Fat Secrets. This is another app that helps with carb counting of food from different manufacturers, as it can change from one supermarket to another and also in cafes. If you buy a cheese and onion pasty from Greggs, Asda or Ginsters, they could have different amounts of carbs in them, so you'll need to adjust your insulin intake. Around a year or so later, I was offered a pump. Well, this changed my life even more. The freedom it gave me and not worrying about calculating my insulin. I also found an app to remind me to change my cannula. Now, I know pumps can be set to give you a reminder, but having a message on my phone as well helps when I forget to change it after the pump has beeped and if I can't do it straight away. At my age, I forget easily. I then accessed the Freestyle Libre. Multiple finger pricking stopped. Hooray! And it was much more convenient. I had blood sugars. I had real-time readings and indications in which direction my blood sugars were going. This made things even more easy, especially when I heard about people using the Meow Meow to convert the Libre to continuous glucose monitoring and wanted to give it a go. I now have my blood readings sent to my phone and my watch, which is even more accessible. I'm a walking technology person and have everything with me to sort out my diabetes. My quality of life has really improved. I have freedom, confidence, ease of use, and I'm able to do what I want without worrying about my diabetes. The Libre also sends my readings to the diabetic team at the hospital. So if I have a problem, they can access them. This helped greatly during the pandemic, and we could have video meetings to discuss our problems if we wanted to, therefore getting excellent remote care. I've come a long way since that bombshell diagnosis 10 years ago. Tech has helped me to improve my life in a big way. I'm not frightened about forgetting things anymore and live life to the full. I became the mayor of my town 3 years ago and had 12 months of fundraising for charity. Of course, my diabetes clinic was on the list, and I abseiled off the top of my hospital. I raised over £2,000 for diabetes in St Helens. I'm nothing special, and if I can do it, anyone can. Don't be afraid of technology. Try it out and give it a go. Explore what is out there, apps, different ways to monitor glucose and insulin, etc. There are also new things on the horizon, and I can't wait. Once again, give it a go and find out what's best to support and suit you and your lifestyle, whatever your age. Remember, thanks for listening. Age is only a number.
Wow, Pat, thank you. Pat Ireland, total inspiration, as ever. Wonderful, really appreciated, and a great use of tech. And, I cannot wait to see what challenge you take up next, and please keep me and everybody else posted. But if you've got any questions for Pat or suggested next challenges, please pop it in the chat. Pat will be joining us actually for the Q&A very soon, in about 5 minutes or so. So the panel's coming up. I'll do the introductions in a very short while.